head.
John.
Is that John Morton?
Yeah, it is, yeah. John Morton, yeah.
Just come sit in the car then, mate, please.
You get it out of my face, please.
Get it out of your face, why? What are you going to do?
We're currently in the process of speaking to an individual.
In the process, you think you find you were sitting in the vehicle, weren't you, mate? So now you're talking.
Yeah, I was sitting in the vehicle, yeah.
You want to put my address online? Hey, is there no...
Don't know your address.
Hey,
Don't know your address.
silly game now. Because now you're paying for anything.
I don't know your address, mate, so... I know your name's John.
Hey, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Because you know what you've just done? You've just done a breach of data protection, mate. Yes, you have.
From the very beginning, the officer appears to mishandle the situation by openly stating the auditor's full name in front of another member of the public. Under UK data protection law, personal information must be handled carefully, particularly when it is connected to previous interactions with the police. Police forces have responsibilities when handling personal data and should avoid unnecessary or inappropriate disclosure. If the auditor's full name was deliberately announced where an uninvolved member of the public could hear it, that could raise legitimate data protection concerns. Even if there was no intention to cause harm, officers are still expected to use appropriate discretion when dealing with personal information in public.
Thank you very much for that. That's why I said this little idiot has just done a nice breach of data protection. Just told member of the public my name to an absolute stranger. No, excuse me. Right.
John, can you...
Listen, do not put your hands on me. Why, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Listen, you just put your hands on me. What are you wanting to do?
What are you doing, John? Calm yourself down. No, don't
get your hands off me. Listen, you come out and approach me. All right? Your colleague has just shoved me.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down. No, right.
Calm down.
Listen, I am not irate. It's called freedom of speech, and I will tell you. All right? Your colleague has just put hands on. Your colleague has just put hands on me. That's classed as unwanted contact. It's battery and assault.
Okay.
You got out thinking you were... Excuse me. You're restricting my movement.
Even if the auditor appeared confrontational or was partly blocking the doorway, that would not automatically justify using physical force against him. Officers are expected to communicate clearly and use only the level of force that is necessary and proportionate to the circumstances. Instead of properly addressing the auditor's concerns about his personal information, the officer appears to push him away and then attempts to leave. Under Section 39 of the Criminal Justice Act 1988, unlawful physical force can amount to battery. The key question would be whether the force used was lawful, necessary, and proportionate in the circumstances. From the footage, the auditor does not appear to be attacking the officer. His behavior may have been frustrating, but the physical response raises questions about whether the force was genuinely necessary or was instead driven by the tension of the moment.
It's what you call as assault. It's battery and unwanted contact. You just touched me. So what if I touch you?
Calm yourself
no,
down.
yeah, look, you're touching me now. Please move away. But I will use reasonable force to detain you. I will use reasonable force to detain you. Go on, what? Do you want to touch me?
Yeah, can I get more patrols, please, to the Gulf Petrol Station on Victoria Road?
Come on. Come on.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down. Look.
Don't put your hands on me, John.
Listen, you put your hands on me. Right, Section 33.
In my space.
Listen, you put your hands on me. It's classed as, look, unwanted contact. Please don't touch me. Okay? Thank you very much.
It's the Gulf Petrol Station at Victoria Road.
Come on. And I'll take these as well. I will. I'll take these as well.
You're John Morton?
Station. Very hard.
John, just calm down.
No,
no,
because your colleague has just breached data protection.
Listen,
You're here on a job, and your colleague has just given my full name to a random member of the public.
Because we know you are.
It doesn't matter if you know who I am.
When the auditor refuses to calm down, he gives a clear reason for his frustration. His full name had apparently been announced in front of another member of the public, which he believed raised a data protection concern. So he was not simply refusing to calm down for no reason. He was challenging the officers over how his personal information had been handled. The officer then responds, We know who you are, as though knowing the auditor's identity somehow makes the disclosure acceptable. But knowing someone's identity does not automatically give an officer permission to share that information with people who have no reason to receive it. Police officers are expected to handle personal information responsibly. Dismissing the concern simply because the officers already knew who the auditor was does not properly address the underlying issue.
Chat with you, that's why.
No, it wasn't a chat. Listen, I followed every single one of you on for 6 months, and I'll tell that to the camera. I've got all your addresses. I know where you run to the safe house on fucking Anchor Road. I couldn't get two.
Camera that you're trying to get into the vehicle.
It wasn't,
right?
no, I wasn't trying to get into the vehicle. I'll come over to your colleague. I'll come over to your colleague. Look, if you want to go to war, I'll have a straight with everyone.
You stopped me colleague from closing the door, and then you put your hand on me, haven't you?
No, because you
were in my face like this.
You put your hands on me, which is classed as unwanted contact.
Right?
The auditor initially raises a legitimate concern about the way his personal information was handled. However, his own response then crosses a line when he says, I followed every single one of you for 6 months. I've got all your addresses. That statement is aggressive and could easily be interpreted as intimidating or threatening, regardless of what he intended. It changes the tone of the encounter from a discussion about accountability into something much more personal. Police officers are public servants, but they are also entitled to reasonable protection from genuine threats or intimidation. Mentioning officers' home addresses during a heated confrontation is likely to make the situation worse and weakens the auditor's position considerably.
Identify yourself, please, Mucker.
Sorry, yes.
You need to, because no...
I don't need to.
No,
4736.
all right, you don't need to.
4736.
Name?
4736.
Based?
4736.
No, based
You're not being stopped,
all right, then. It's as simple as that. What? Go on, what?
Do you want to get lots of Section 5 public?
Section 5? Where's the MG11 witness statements? MG11 witness statements? There's no aggrieved member of the public. I'm a different member of the public, alright, mate? You won't use your bully tactics on me. Lock me up. Do what you want. I guarantee you, you'll have a letter. Where's the MG11 witness statements, aggrieved member of the public? Alright? I'm not boo-boo the fool, mate. I will. Freedom of speech.
The auditor becomes visibly frustrated and responds with, F off. It is certainly not a polite response, but swearing at a police officer is not automatically a criminal offense. The legal question would depend on the exact circumstances, including whether the behavior meets the requirements of the relevant public order offense. The officer then asks whether the auditor wants to be arrested under Section 5. The auditor quickly responds by asking, where's the MG11 witness statement? That is a sharp challenge because an MG11 is commonly used as a witness statement in criminal proceedings. However, whether an MG11 is actually required in a particular Section 5 case depends on the circumstances and the evidence being relied upon. While the auditor's response sounds confident, the real issue is whether the officer had sufficient evidence to justify taking further action.
Freedom of speech.
Swear once more, you're getting locked up.
What? MG11 witness statement.
Once more,
MG11 witness statement.
So you just assaulted me then?
No, it didn't.
Just assaulted me then?
No,
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You're under arrest, assault PC. Give me your hand now.
Come on.
Down. On the floor, now. Get yourself down. Give me your hand. I've got both hands got it. I've got both hands. Come to the front here. Come to the front. Come on,
I'll take that out now. Come here.
Don't kick out, mate. Stop resisting.
Don't kick out.
The auditor moves close to the officers, which could reasonably be perceived as confrontational. The officers then push him back. As the auditor moves his hands while responding to the officers, they appear to interpret his actions as physical resistance. One officer then accuses him of assault and arrests him. The situation escalates further when the auditor is taken to the ground and handcuffed. During the restraint, an officer appears to strike him in the face. That immediately raises questions about whether the level of force used was necessary and proportionate. Police officers are allowed to use force in certain circumstances, but the force must be reasonable in the circumstances. A strike to the face during a restraint would need to be properly justified by the situation and the level of threat involved.
Yeah.
Behind his car.
Right, John. You don't say anything but a male in defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later on in court, anything you do say maybe give evidence.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Right, are you going to cooperate now?
Yes.
Right. Shall we try and stand you up?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to roll you on your side, okay?
Yeah.
Keep your head. Right.
Come on, I love you guys, you know. I do. Thank you very much. You've just put £5,000 in my pocket. Thank you very much.
I think so.
I think so.
The auditor then says, "You've just put £5,000 in my pocket." It is clearly a pointed comment about the possibility of taking legal action against the police. The statement may sound exaggerated or sarcastic in the heat of the moment, but it shows that the auditor believes the force used against him could have legal consequences if the force used was found to be unnecessary or disproportionate. Particularly after he was already restrained and no longer posed an immediate threat, there could potentially be grounds for a complaint or civil claim, of course. Whether any claim would succeed would depend on the full evidence, including the footage, witness accounts, and the circumstances surrounding the arrest and use of force.
Is that I know your policies better than you, and what you don't understand is what unwanted contact is. You don't understand if you put your hands on me, I'm well within my right.
Oh, don't you worry, John. It's on camera, mate.
So fine.
It's on camera.
So fine. It's
I
just
didn't put my hands on you.
It's just, you know, you touch me.
No,
It's
no, I
unwanted
didn't.
contact. Look, it's cool. Feel like you're out in court.
What happens?
It's just gone straight to the cloud, mate. It's just gone straight to the cloud.
Hold on, let's get the bag out of the way.
It's gone straight to the cloud, mate. It's just gone to 2.1 million people. It's fine. I'm not bothered.
Thank you. Any other patrols making that Steel Street, you
You
can
let go with this hard so I can turn. I'm in. And you're not going to get no stress from me, mucker. None. Zero. It's fine. Yeah. So ciggies, lighter, keys, phone. Where's me phone? Who took me phone? Who took me phone?
No idea.
What do you mean, no idea? You've just took the phone off me. No, where's me phone?
As the video comes to an end, the officer forcefully places the auditor into the police vehicle and slams the door. T is a fitting end to an encounter that became increasingly emotional, poorly managed, and potentially avoidable. What began as a disagreement about the handling of personal information quickly turned into a confrontation involving raised voices, physical contact, an arrest, and questions about the level of force used. The auditor had a reasonable basis for questioning how his personal information was handled. However, his own comments, particularly, "I've got all your addresses," clearly made the situation more confrontational and weakened his position. At the same time, officers are trained to manage difficult encounters professionally and prevent situations from escalating unnecessarily. The shove, the subsequent arrest, and the alleged strike during handcuffing all raise questions about whether the response was reasonable and proportionate. The Section 5 arrest also deserves scrutiny, particularly if it was being used after the situation had already escalated rather than in response to a clearly established offense. The auditor's comment about having £5,000 in my pocket shows that he believed the officer's actions could have financial and legal consequences. But the biggest lesson here is that this confrontation could potentially have been avoided. A calm explanation, proper communication, and a little more professional distance could have prevented the situation from becoming physical. Both sides contributed to the escalation, but the incident also shows why police powers must be exercised with discipline, restraint, and accountability. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support really helps me continue providing independent coverage. Also, check out his channel is linked in the description, so make sure to show him some support. Thanks for watching.